Hey, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. In this important video, I'm going to go over 3 keys to success that are essential for every business and how you can implement them in yours. So sit back, grab a pen and paper to take some notes, and let's get right into it. So no matter where you are with your business, whether you're aspiring to start one or you currently have one that's just not where you want it to be yet, this is for you. We'll be discussing the 3 keys to success that are essential to every business and that you can apply to yours. So I would encourage you to go ahead and take some notes as we go along. So let me start by quickly telling you a little bit about myself. This is a picture of me and my wife Sharon taken during one of our vacations in Cabo. She is an e-commerce wizard. She's been working for years and years with some of the top company, multi-billion-dollar corporations, in fact. And she's developed and implemented and helped run literally thousands and thousands of websites. So she is like the e-com wizard. Anyway, so I got the entrepreneur bug at a very young age, and that's continued throughout my whole life. I had bigger aspirations and hopes and dreams, and I didn't want to just punch a clock my whole life trading time for money. Simply put, if you trade your time for money, you'll never get back what that time is really worth. You'll always have the opportunity to make more money, but what you can't make more of is time. Time to spend with your family, time to do something you enjoy, time to do what matters most to you. Everyone starts each day with the same 24 hours to use what they wish. The difference is how you use that time. Do you spend it punching a clock, trading time for money, and doing something you don't fully enjoy? Or do you spend it doing something that you're actually passionate about and really do enjoy, while at the same time creating a sustainable business so you're no longer just trading time for money? So let's dive in. One of my first experiences in the world of entrepreneurship was a service business. Many moons ago in my younger days, I decided I wanted to start mowing lawns for extra money. Now, of course, this was in the days before online marketing was even a thing. To get the word out, I basically went around and put up flyers on telephone poles, put them in grocery stores, delis, and things like that. I tried going door to door, talking to the neighbors and asking if I could mow their lawn. I even took out a few ads in the newspaper. Imagine doing that these days, right? As you can probably imagine, I didn't get much traction and things started off pretty slowly. What I realized was that in order to be successful at this, I needed a few things. One, a good way to get the word out to a lot of people easily. Two, be able to pick and choose who I wanted to work with based on their house being within my ideal service area. And 3, make sure that their property was a good fit for my mowing service. I mean, it wouldn't really be if I had a giant hill on it, or if it was too rocky, or of course was just a big bare patch of dirt. So I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way to accomplish these things. So I sat down and came up with a plan and thought a little outside the box. And that changed everything. What I decided to do was to create a new flyer that had my information on it and all the services that I offer, but just tweak one small thing. I added a section at the top that said, I will mow your lawn for X dollars per week, and I just left a blank line for the dollar amount. I printed up a bunch of these flyers and then had someone drive me around to all the neighborhoods that were on my ideal route. I stopped and looked at each and every house and decided if they would be a good fit. If so, I figured out what I would charge to mow their lawn each week, and I actually wrote them an estimate right there on the spot. I filled in the blank with whatever the weekly charge would be, and then I went ahead and left them the estimate. More specifically, an estimate that was tailored just for them and their property. See, the magic in this was that they may have had some interest in having their lawn mowed, but didn't really have any idea how much it would cost. So now, even if they had only a slight interest in having someone mow their lawn, I had already done the legwork for them. They didn't have to pick up the phone and call around to ask how much it would cost. They didn't have to deal with leaving messages for other mowing businesses that would never get returned. They didn't have to deal with getting several estimates from several different businesses. And they didn't have to deal with being home to meet someone to get their estimate. All those concerns and pain points were taken away by me just taking the initiative to go ahead and give them that estimate. And it worked. The phone absolutely blew up. I had so many phone calls that I spent more time answering the phone than actually mowing lawns. People were so appreciative to get their estimates without having to lift a finger and in many cases were surprised to learn how affordable the weekly mowings would actually be. In the course of 1 week, I went from having barely any customers to having more than I could even handle. I actually had to bring on a second crew to handle the overflow, and shortly thereafter I had to hire a third crew. So that's the magic of addressing your customers' pain points and thinking outside the box. And is also key to success number 1, know your customer. And when I say know your customer, I mean really know your customer. That's the key. You have to know what makes them tick, what things they like, what things they enjoy doing, what places they like to go, what drives them to do the things they do. And especially, what are their pain points, points of confusion, and things that they struggle with. And what drives them to make a purchasing decision. That's the secret. If you can figure out exactly what your customers' pain points are and what drives their purchasing decision, then you can make sure that your product or service will address those pain points and solve their problem. And if you feel that it's a good fit for them and will really be the answer to their problem or concern, then let them know that. By tailoring your message so that it speaks directly to them and addresses those pain points. That is the key to your business being successful. So in this example, by me giving them that mowing estimate without them having to go through a bunch of steps, I addressed their concerns. And then followed that up by delivering on the promise and giving them amazing service, and they became happy customers. And best of all, they were so happy that they referred even more customers to me, which helped my business grow even more. So let's talk about key to success number 2. Do something you're passionate about and think outside the box. One of the first things to decide, of course, is what is your product or service going to be? And what is the reason that you want to offer that product or service? I always recommend to choose something that you're passionate about. That way it'll always hold your interest and keep you motivated to get up in the morning and accomplish whatever your goals are for that day. So think about something that you're passionate about and what kind of businesses you can create around that idea. Even if you currently own a business, but it's not where you want it to be just yet. This thought process will help open new doors to what is possible and open your mind to some new ideas. The secret, again, is to think outside the box a little here. For example, a lot of people say that you have to start a business selling something that has mass appeal. Now, that's certainly good advice and certainly something to consider, but maybe you can't think of anything mainstream that you're really passionate about. So you think to yourself, I really want to start my own business or add to my existing one, but I have no idea what I would want to sell. Let's just take a really random example here and say maybe you're really passionate about unicorns. So how do you start a business about unicorns? So thinking outside the box, what if you start a t-shirt business featuring unicorns in the designs? That's great, you say, but I don't have a t-shirt printing machine. No problem. There's a business model called print on demand, where you simply have another company print the t-shirts for you and even fulfill the orders for you. You never have to even touch a single t-shirt, tape up a single box, or ship anything. And this all happens automatically and without you laying out a single penny until your t-shirt actually sells. That's right, your customer pays you before the t-shirt is even printed. You don't have to pay for any inventory or have a place to store anything, and it takes very little upfront investment to start a business like this. Okay, so maybe you're into t-shirts. No problem. You can do the same thing with mugs. Maybe start your own unicorn mug company. Or if you're not into that either, there are other opportunities that follow a similar business model to print on demand called white label. So still thinking outside the box here. Maybe you're into unicorns and you love coffee. Awesome. Did you know that you can actually white label your own coffee brand? White label means that all you do is contract a company that already makes a certain product to make that same product that they already produce for you. And you simply put your brand name on it and sell it as your own. How cool is that? So you can put your unicorn designs on the label and start your own unicorn coffee empire. Now, of course, those are just some random examples, but it goes to show what you can do when you do something you're passionate about and by thinking outside the box a little. Now, what if your real desire is to create your own totally unique product? Many people will tell you it's too difficult and takes too much money to do that. It's not necessarily true. In fact, that was one of my own burning desires. You see, I've always really been into cars and motorcycles. It's kind of my thing. I love tinkering with them, fixing them up, modifying them, making them unique, and putting my own flair and stamp on them. So one day when I was working on one of my own motorcycles, I had an idea. I wanted to mount a certain style of leather bag on my bike, but I checked all over the place and simply couldn't find anyone who made the kind of mounting kit that I was looking for. I thought that can't be possible, right? I mean, is there really nothing like that on the market? Sure enough, I looked through all my resources, and believe me, I have a ton of them, and I couldn't find anything even close. So I thought to myself, if I'm looking for a product like this, then surely somebody else must be too. So I started working on designing my own. So once I had it all figured out, how it would mount to the bike, what hardware I needed, etc., I reached out to a machine shop to have them make a prototype for me. I took some pictures of it, wrote a little description of what it is and what it does, and I started drumming up some interest by posting it on social media, putting the word out about it, etc. To my surprise, it was unbelievably well received by lots of other people, even though it was a super niche product directed at a very tiny market. There were a ton of people just like me that were looking for this specific solution to the same problem. So I launched a brand new business focused on my new idea and started marketing it. I listed it on eBay, Amazon, and even built a shopping website so I had a presence across several different platforms. Orders started pouring in. Then something amazing happened. My wife and I were at a huge motorcycle event that we had never been to before. It was held in a completely different state, hours and hours away from home. So we're walking down the street, admiring all the different bikes, when all of a sudden out of the corner of my eye, I noticed something. There it was. It was a motorcycle with my product on it. It felt so surreal to see something that I took straight out of my head, put it down on paper, created it, built it, sold it, shipped it, and here it was on someone's bike, right here, right in front of me. I went over and struck up a conversation with the owner and asked him what he thought of the product. He actually said that it was the best thing he ever put on his bike. He had been looking for a solution to the problem of mounting a bag just like me and came across my product and bought it immediately. He said the installation was super easy, did exactly what he needed it to do, and he even told all of his friends about it. I couldn't believe it. I told him I was the owner of the company that makes them. He was so excited about it, even thanking me for making such a cool product that solved his problem. And that's when I had the epiphany. That was the moment that it all made sense to me. I simply can't describe the feeling of pride I felt that someone was so appreciative of something that I had created, a product that I had sold them. It was just unbelievable. I mean, we all want to start a business to make money and provide for our family and all that. But the feeling of actually making a difference in someone's life, no matter how large or how small, it's just an unbelievable sense of accomplishment. And that's really what it's all about. I felt it that day. And I also felt it the first time I saw someone wearing a t-shirt that I had designed and sold through one of my apparel businesses. And I still feel it every single time I read a positive review that someone's written about one of my products or services. It's really an amazing feeling, and I want you to be able to experience it for yourself. It doesn't matter what type of business you're in. It could be physical products, it could be information products, it could be a service business. At some point you're going to experience that feeling, and it's going to make you realize exactly why you do what you do, and that it's all worth it. So anyway, orders continue coming in for the bag mount, and long story short, I built a very successful business on top of that one single idea. Now it just goes to show that you're really only one idea, one product, one step away from changing everything. All you need to do is take that step. And that's key to success number 3. Take that next step. Whatever that next step is for you, don't be afraid to take it. It may be scary, it may take you out of your comfort zone, and most people just by nature typically don't like change. But honestly, if your business, your situation, your life isn't where you want it to be, don't be afraid to take that next step to change it. Amazing things can happen when you do. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I hope this has been helpful for you.